So guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe, keeping well. Guys, I want to jump straight into it. Guys, I've been seeing a lot of disrespect for Callum Smith. Um, a lot of boxing fans are not happy with the fact that Canelo's fighting Callum Smith. I don't get it. I don't get it. Callum Smith is a legitimate champion at 168. Yes, he had a bad fight with Ryder, and I thought Ryder may have nicked it, but the fight was close. Sometimes you have these type of fights. You have fights against guys that you're expected to blow out, and they end up giving you a very, very tough fight. It's styles make fights. Ryder was just a very, very motivated and determined guy that night. And Callum Smith probably wasn't on his A game, and Ryder raised his game. That can happen. It's sport. Don't start writing people off because they have one bad fight. I know Callum Smith's resume is not that great in the sense he's not been in the ring with a lot of top-notch fighters. However, I've always looked. That's the only fight where I looked at Callum Smith and thought, this guy's not that. He's average. That's the only fight I've seen that. Now you may say, well, he hasn't really fought top-notch level opponents. Now Ryder wasn't a top-notch level opponent. If anybody was going to make Ryder look average, was George Groves, and that was probably one of his best performances that he's put in. Look at the performance against George Groves. I know it was a shot-worn George Groves. He was past his best. He had a shoulder injury. But I just think people are overlooking Callum Smith just because of that Ryder fight. This is not an easy fight for Canelo. I've said it before. Callum Smith is 6'3". He's longer. He's got a longer reach. He can punch. He's a good boxer. This isn't an easy fight. This isn't a Rocky Fielding. And no disrespect to Rocky Fielding, but Callum Smith knocked Rocky out in one round. This is a tough fight and a tough matchup for Canelo Alvarez. I think people are sleeping on Callum Smith. Listen, I'm looking forward to this fight. I'm very excited about this fight because I've always rated Callum Smith. I've always thought Callum Smith is a great fighter. Now, do I think he's going to beat Canelo? I don't. I think Canelo will beat him. Canelo's my best fighter in the world. I think he's the best fighter in the world. I think Canelo will beat him. I think Canelo will chop him down to the body. And inevitably probably stop him late. However, I won't be shocked if Callum pulls it off. I'd be surprised, not shocked, because Callum Smith has a lot of physical advantages in this fight, and he can fight. He's tall, he's rangy. Like I said, he can punch, he can box. There's a lot of things going for Callum Smith in this fight. If you think that this is a fight where Callum Smith has no chance and Canelo's just going to go in there and destroy him, tell me, please explain to me how you see the fight that way. How do you think Canelo's going to go in there and just destroy Callum Smith when Liam Smith fought Canelo? He went 9 or 10 rounds with Canelo. And let me tell you something, his younger brother is a good fighter. I've always rated Liam Smith. But Callum Smith is way better boxer than Liam Smith. He's bigger, he's stronger, he punches harder. Yes, I know Canelo beat Liam Smith comfortably, won every round, but Liam Smith isn't as big as Callum Smith. He isn't as good a boxer as Callum Smith. He doesn't punch as hard as Callum Smith. He's a far better fighter, I think, because of the fact that Canelo destroyed Liam, who is Callum's older brother. I think people just automatically assume that, Callum's going to have the same fate. I don't see it that way. I think Canelo will win, but I don't think this is no easy fight at all. And it wouldn't shock me if Callum pulls it off. Callum Smith is a live underdog in this fight. I would have the fight 70-30 in Canelo's favor. There's more chance Callum Smith beating Canelo than there was of Brook beating Terence Crawford. Believe me. This is a very difficult fight, and you've got to give respect to Canelo. I think people are just hating on Canelo. They always want to take away, Canelo's cherry picking. How is he cherry picking? Fighting the Ring magazine, most people see Callum Smith as the number one. Now, I know there's Benavidez, and a lot of people think he's the number one, but it's out between Callum Smith and Benavidez. In my opinion, the number 1 and 2 is Callum Smith and Benavidez, so it's hardly, whoever you want to choose. If you think Callum Smith's the number 1 or you think Benavidez, it's out of those two, in my opinion. So, and who has Benavidez really beat? Let's be real, who's Benavidez really beat? So, like I said, I think Callum Smith is a very tough test for Canelo. And stop hating on Canelo for fighting Callum Smith, making out like Smith isn't a good fighter, because he's a very good fighter. I've always rated Smith. right? Just because of one bad performance, you don't become a terrible fighter. Just like the same with Deontay Wilder. Everyone's after his Fury defeat. Oh, everyone's saying he's rubbish. This, that. No, it's not. You don't become a bad fighter over one loss or one bad performance. You know, the reason why people are giving Callum Smith stick because they thought he lost against Ryder, but it was a close fight. It was a very close fight. And Tony Bellew was probably right when he said, even though I thought Ryder probably nicked it, is that the fact is Ryder did a lot better than what people expected him to. So they automatically just saying that he won the fight. You know, it was a very close fight. It wasn't a fight where Callum Smith got blown away and it was a blatant robbery like Pacquiao-Bradley. This wasn't a robbery. This was a fight that I thought Ryder probably nicked, but it was close. You know, a 7-5 fight is not a robbery. You know, and I just think people are writing Callum Smith off. And like I said, I think Callum Smith is going to put in a very, very good account of himself. I think whatever happens, I think Callum Smith profile is going to go through the roof after this fight. Now, a lot of people are also saying that Canelo tried to catch Callum Smith cold in the sense that he's only given him 4 weeks to train for this fight. And listen, I don't think that's right personally, but Callum Smith knew that this fight with Canelo is being talked about. So he's been training. He's been in the gym. Now, is it ideal with the fight getting announced 4 weeks? Because Canelo probably knew all along who he was going to fight. So he's gaining an advantage. But the problem is, here's the thing. Billy Joe slammed Canelo on this. Benavidez slammed Canelo on this. The fact is, you've got to dance to Canelo's tunes if you want to fight him. He's the A-side. He's the cash cow. If you don't want to abide by what he does, then you're not going to get the fight. So then it's your call. What do you want to do? Not fight Canelo and get your biggest payday and get a chance to fight the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, or just try to stand up for yourself and say, no, I'm not doing 4 weeks, and you're not going to get the fight. So, you know, the thing is you're going to have to bite down on the gumshoe and abide to what Canelo says, because Canelo's the A-side. You know, Mayweather did exactly the same. He did exactly the same when he had the power. When you have the power, you have to bow, not bow down to him and give in completely, but these type of things, 4 weeks notice and 5 weeks notice, you're gonna have to give way. You're just gonna have to stay in the gym and live your life like an athlete, right? And be training 24/7, you know, because you know that the guy that's in the power position in your divisions, in Canelo, is going to do that. He's going to do that. So you've got to stay ready all the time, just assuming that Canelo's going to pick you next. And that's the problem with a lot of these fighters, that they're probably not staying in the gym 24/7 all year round, like Mayweather did, like Canelo did. You know, I think Callum Smith does, to be fair. I think Callum Smith, he lives the life. You can tell, never seen him out of shape, and he's a big super middleweight. So you could easily see him blow up and look heavy. But I've never seen Callum Smith out of shape or look like chubby in the cheeks, or he just looks an athlete all year round. Whenever I've seen him, you know, even when he's not got a fight, he looks in shape. When I've seen him at his brother's fights, he just looks in shape. So it seems like he lives the life. I don't think he's a guy that doesn't live the life. So personally, I think this is a great fight. I think people are sleeping on Callum Smith. I think Callum Smith is going to shock a lot of people. I think Callum Smith is going to put in a great performance. I don't think he's going to win, but I wouldn't be surprised if he does. I've picked Canelo to win the fight by probably a late stoppage. But again, I think there's going to be a lot of difficulty for Canelo in this fight, just because Callum Smith's long, he's rangy, you know. And if Callum Smith can keep away and keep away from Canelo's power, you know, he doesn't allow Canelo to break him down to the body, slow him down, and land big haymakers. Because there's one thing taking shots from Ryder and another from Canelo. Canelo places his punches really well. He's very intelligent. He knows how to break somebody down. He's done it many times in the past. And he finds a way to get to you and break you down. Especially with Callum Smith, it's a big target for him. However, Callum Smith has power. If he lands a big right hand on Canelo, a left hook, Callum Smith's got a very good left hook. Callum Smith could be in trouble. I mean, Canelo could be in trouble, because Canelo is now fighting a guy that's way bigger than him. You know, you can't afford to get hit with big shots against a guy that's way bigger than you like that. Because like I said, Callum Smith is massive compared to Canelo. And you'll see when they face off, it's huge. And listen, size don't mean everything. We've seen, the great ones overcome size in the past. Especially when Canelo's on another level to Callum Smith. You know, if there were guys of similar level, then you could, or similar skill level, then you could probably say size plays a massive difference. Like, for example, Canelo fighting Spence or Crawford, right? They may be guys of similar level, right? But Canelo's size and his skill level combined will be too much for Crawford and Spence, even though those guys are very skilled. But when you got someone like Callum Smith, who's level below, you know, some may say 2 levels below Canelo, size might not make that much difference. However, if Callum Smith can show that he's at that level, then size can play a massive part. Because as they say in boxing, a good big man always beats a good little man. But in this case, we may have an exceptional little man against a good big man. So in that case, you know, you have to favor Canelo because of his track record and who he's beaten. He's beaten better fighters than Callum Smith, really, on paper. You'd have to say he's beaten better names. But Callum Smith has physical advantages over Canelo, which Canelo may never had to face before. Has he ever fought a guy that's 6'3"? You know, maybe Chavez was tall, but come on, Chavez was not, like, come on, we got to be real about Chavez. But this is a real test for Canelo. If Canelo knocks and blows Callum Smith away, I'll be very impressed. Very, very impressed. This is a legitimate challenge for Canelo. No easy fight. You know, I don't see Canelo just going in there and destroying Callum Smith. No way. I don't see it. No way. Not in my opinion. Callum Smith is going to bring the heat here. I think Callum Smith is going to be a very, very tough and stern test for Canelo. What do you guys think? Leave your thoughts, guys. Remember to smash that like button. It helps my channel, helps the algorithm. It really helps my channel grow. And guys, remember to please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.